Philippine security advisor requests expulsion of Chinese diplomatic delegation. Experts say Russia increased its attack speed and penetrated Ukraine's weak points. The Russia-Ukraine conflict exposes the weakness of U.S. smart weapons. Ukraine saw a wave of businesses moving to avoid conflict. Philippine security advisor requests expulsion of Chinese diplomatic delegation. The Philippine National Security Advisor requested the expulsion of Chinese diplomats, after a transcript of a call allegedly between a Philippine admiral and a Chinese official was leaked online. According to Reuters, on May 10, Philippine National Security Advisor Eduardo Ano publicly called for the expulsion of Chinese diplomats working in the country. The above move took place just a few days after Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Lam Kean confirmed that the country's embassy in Manila had released evidence of related exchange cases related to the two countries having sex with each other. Reached an agreement on a new model in managing the risk of conflict in the East Sea. Also during this time, the Manila Times newspaper released a transcript of a call allegedly between the leader of the Western Front of the Philippine Army, WESCAM, Alberto Carlos, and a Chinese embassy official. During this call, Mr. Carlos is said to have agreed to Beijing's proposal on the new model mentioned above. Accordingly, Manila will send fewer ships for missions to supply soldiers on 2nd Thomas Bank and notify China in advance of the time to conduct these missions. To date, Manila still denies the information about the new model above, nor has it confirmed whether Mr. Carlos is indeed the person who appeared in the call that was just leaked above. Responding to the information just announced by the Chinese side, on May 10, Mr. Ano issued a statement criticizing, the Chinese embassy in Manila has continuously carried out acts of spreading fake information, misleading information, or information without sufficient context. Experts believe that Russia will increase the speed of its attacks, targeting Ukraine's weak points. White House National Security Advisor John Kirby said that Russia may be preparing a larger-scale campaign against Kharkov, Ukraine's second-largest city. There is a high possibility that Russia is preparing for a larger attack on Kharkov, Mr. Kirby commented, according to RT on May 10. Earlier, on the same day, the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense and President Volodymyr Zelensky announced that Russia had launched a large-scale attack, targeting a number of positions along the Russian border with the Kharkov region. Moscow has not provided any information about military activities near Kharkiv, other than reports of the seizure of two villages in the border area with the self-proclaimed Lugansk People's Republic, LPR. Over the past few months, Ukrainian forces have used Kharkiv as a springboard to launch drone, artillery, and missile attacks on Russia's border areas, primarily Belgorod. Also on May 10, U.S. President Joe Biden's administration announced an additional military aid package worth $400 million to Ukraine, the third package in recent weeks. According to Politico, the new aid package will include weapons such as Patriot missiles, Stinger air defense missiles, Bradley fighting vehicles, anti-mine vehicles, Javelin anti-armor systems, and other ammunition. Washington also approved the emergency sale of 3 HIMARS systems at an estimated cost of $30 million to Ukraine. This amount will be funded by Germany. Last month, after many delays, the U.S. finally approved $61 billion in aid to Ukraine. However, officials in Kyiv confirmed to the Financial Times that this aid can only help slow down Russia's advance. It cannot stop it. Moscow has repeatedly said that the weapons provided by the West to Ukraine cannot reverse the outcome of the conflict. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu announced that the country's forces are now in complete control of the conflict situation and are making steady progress. The Ukraine conflict exposed the weakness of U.S. smart weapons. Experts say that the smart weapons the U.S. sent to Ukraine are effective, but the combat performance is not as expected because of Russia's jamming ability. Russia's electronic warfare has been causing many problems for the precision weapons the U.S. sent to Ukraine. According to experts, this shows that the U.S. still has weaknesses in electronic warfare capabilities and needs solutions to deal with strong opponents like Moscow in the future. Ukraine has used U.S. precision weapons, such as HIMARS rockets and JDAM smart bombs, throughout the war over the past 2 years, but Russian jamming measures have regularly reduced the effectiveness of these weapons. Lieutenant General Antonio Aguto, who holds the position of commander of the Ukraine Security Support Group, once admitted that the U.S. faces challenges with Russia's electronic warfare capabilities and Washington is trying to find a solution. Mark Kanchan, a retired Marine Corps colonel and senior advisor at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, explained that Russia interfered with the U.S. GPS navigation system to neutralize America's precision weaponry has been effective. Electronic warfare can be carried out using low-cost but highly effective technology, and both combatants are using them extensively, not only to suppress precision fire but also as UAVs. Ukraine saw a wave of businesses moving to avoid conflict. Ukraine is witnessing a wave of businesses moving west to avoid conflict, as well as experiencing severe labor shortages. A few days after Russia launched its military campaign in Ukraine in early 2022, architect Ola Drozdov decided to move his house and company from Kharkiv, the second-largest city, located in the east. Now, as the war enters its third year, Drozdov's business begins to grow. His company adapted and found many new opportunities. The storm is over. Our boat has holes, but is moving forward, Drozdov said from Lviv, a western city near the Polish border. On the outskirts of this city, cranes appear everywhere. Industrial parks and many other projects are being built. Drozdov and partners, Drozdov's company adapted to the shock of war. Small, flexible company. In a country where millions of people and thousands of companies are having to relocate, the need for home construction and renovation is huge. New opportunities are gradually opening up. Many investments are pouring into the West, when businesses and people have to move, he said. Drozdov's company is one of 19,000 businesses that had to change their registered location when the Russia-Ukraine war broke out, according to data firm OpenDatabit. Thanks to the adaptation of businesses, support and government programs, Ukraine is increasingly resembling a wartime economy. This shift is even clearer when comparing the economic structure in 2023 with 2021, Deputy Prime Minister Yulia Sviridenko said on Reuters. In the east, fighting is going on. A study by the World Bank, WB, the United Nations, the European Commission and the government of Ukraine in February showed that the total cost of rebuilding this economy could be up to $486 billion. The number is increasing. In Kharkiv, Ola Synhubov, governor of this region, said about 70% of large businesses closed or left. Our budget has been reduced by 40%, he told Reuters. WB data shows that Eastern businesses will lose 70% of their revenue in the 2022 to 2023 period. Companies in the North decreased by 63%, while the decrease in the West was 39%. But in the West, the situation is much better. Viktor Mikhailuk, governor of the Zakarpattia region, said that this area has recently had many new businesses, from salt production, furniture, to textiles. Before the war, Zakarpattia's economy depended on tourism and remittances. When the fighting broke out, many businesses came here, new jobs and budgets increased, Mikhailuk said. Lviv officials also noted a similar trend. Logistics, energy, construction and technology companies flock here. The few foreign investment projects announced are mainly located in the central and western regions. These regions will benefit the most if Ukraine joins the European Union (EU).